Hello, this is Dina, and I'm back. This is the Real Manifestation Talk now live, and hopefully you can hear me. This is my second live video, and today I wanted to talk to you about how messages come anywhere, everywhere, all at once, just like that movie that came out last year, and how you can get messages from anywhere, and how you get those messages from the universe, from spirit, to know what to do next. I know a lot of you out there, me included, sometimes we get lost in the 3D reality, in the muck of this world, and trying to figure out, okay, what do I do next? What's the next step? And if you're looking for those messages outside yourself, you just that's not where they come from. They actually come from within. And I actually got a download today while I was on the toilet. I know it's probably TMI, but it's literally on the toilet getting a download from source. And I mean, it comes when it comes. It comes anywhere, everywhere, all at once. And if you found this video, then you are ready to make a change. That's the title of this video. I'm creating a community here where we can chat live and talk about what manifestations you're working on, how you're trying to change your life, what are your goals, what are your frustrations with why your manifestations have not come in. If you're wondering, what's a bridge of incidents, and how does that pertain to your manifestation. Uh, if you've heard that, everyone is a reflection of you, um, all these, these things regarding manifestation, and you want to know, how does that fit into my life, into my manifestations? I just want to know, how do I get my desired reality? How do I get to that point? And it's a process. So, and that's why they call it a journey. It takes time. Some things come immediate, but not everything comes immediate. But can you control any of those aspects of manifestation? And the first thing I want to tell you is that, well, manifestation, you're doing it all the time. It's not something that you need to learn. You are already doing it. You've been doing it since you existed on this plane of existence, of Earth. And so what that means is that everything, or how you know that you've been manifesting, is everything around you is a reflection of your mindset. The way you manifest is through your mind and through your emotions and how you feel, how you really feel. So if you're not seeing your manifestation in real time, or your desired manifestation, what you really want out of life, then it's because you haven't synced in with what it is that you really want. And how do you know whether or not you're synced in with what you want? You know by your mindset, by how you think, what your thoughts are, and what your beliefs are. What do you actually believe you can do, what you think you're capable of? And if you have high aspirations, like you want to win the lottery, or you want to be some great big pop star, or you want to be, a genius physicist, or whatever it is that your dreams are, you have to believe that you can achieve that. And you may feel like your beliefs are permanent, but they're not. You do have the power to change it. Everything is within your power. So so basically you do that by, getting quiet. Like, first of all, you have to become aware of your thoughts, how you're thinking, because you might not even be aware of what you're thinking. And if you're doing a lot of negative thinking, you know, putting yourself down, or maybe you have other people's influential voices in your head telling you this or that, telling you you're not good enough, telling you you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough. You need to become aware of those thoughts, because that's like the sneaky ticker tape, uh, background music, so to speak, that's going on in your life. And if you're telling yourself that, if that ticker tape is going on, or that music, that negative music is going on, then it will get in the way of you manifesting anything that you want. And actually, it will, well, it will manifest exactly what you're thinking about, those negative things. So you have to start changing that script. And you can do it, but it is a process. It depends on, how easily you are to believe what it is that you want. But start now. I mean, time is of the essence. You don't want to be starting a year from now, because if you start now, then a year from now, you could be there. You could be in that desired reality. And so the first step, obviously, is to become aware of what that language is. What are you telling yourself? What are your beliefs? And it could be something that you don't want to believe anymore. It's something that was stuck in you by your parents or your teachers or your siblings, your grandpa, anybody who's influential around you. It could even be something that has seeped in from the outer world, social media. That's a big one. It could be the stuff you're watching. It could be TV shows that you're watching. It could be music that you listen to. What are the themes in that music? Are they negative or are they positive? I tend to find that music tends to be uplifting, but if you're listening to music, then really listen and believe. If it's a positive message that you can do something, then that's good. But if it's just trash talk or it's negative stuff all the time, you just want to kind of basically get that stuff out of your life. Stop listening to that stuff. You start basically immersing yourself in everything that would help you toward getting what it is that you want. So quiet that noise. And you can do that by, a lot of people suggest meditation. A lot of people don't like meditation. I myself have been there where I didn't like meditation. I didn't understand it. And then I got to a place where I could meditate. The reason I didn't like it is because I didn't quite understand what it was. I thought you had to quiet the voices, because once you sit down in the quiet, all of a sudden the voices turn up, right? They turn up loud, they get louder. But really it's a tool. Once you start hearing that, that's really the fastest way to realize what you are telling yourself or what's going on in your mind throughout the day in the background. It's a really good way to understand what your beliefs are and to know where you are in terms of, is this noise in the background, this voice, these things that I'm hearing, are they benefiting me, benefiting benefiting you, or are they basically toxic? Are they making you not get what you want? You have to it's like when you hear those voices, ask yourself, is this in line with the person that I would be in my desired reality? Is the person that I am in my desired reality, is this how I would be thinking? Or would I be thinking different thoughts? So once you start meditating and you hear that, you're going to find out really quick where you are in your manifestation journey, how close you are to actually getting what you want. And while you're meditating and you hear those voices, the ones that you feel don't match up to the desired person or your ultimate person, the person that you desire to be in that reality where of your desires. So like if you, let's say you want to win the lottery, you want to be rich, who would you be as that person? If you won the lottery, what kind of person would you be? What would your thoughts be from that point of view? Would you be worried about money? No. How would you spend money? You would spend it with joy. It would give you excitement. It would also feel just normal, right? It would just feel normal to walk into a store and just buy whatever it is that you want. There wouldn't be this worry of, oh, what's my bank account? Can I afford this? If I buy this, am I going to regret it later? You would just have no regrets, right? That voice of regret would be gone. So when you're meditating, that's what you're going to become clear on. The thoughts and the mindset of a person who has, say, won the lottery. Once you figure that out, then you know how to live your life. You know how to go forward. You know how to make decisions in your life based on or from that person who has, say, won the lottery. So when you get quiet, so I did meditate. I meditated, I challenged myself one time. I had watched this Kyle Cease video, and he did this challenge where he meditated for like this really long period of time. And so I thought, well, let me challenge myself. I don't like this meditation thing. I don't get it. Let me see if I can do it. And what I learned is that the voices never really go away, but they will shift if you sit there long enough. So I meditated for like, I did try to challenge myself. So I did try to get like maybe a half hour, which is quite a bit. Abraham Hicks, she says, all you have to do is meditate for like 15 minutes. But I just wanted to see, I tested myself. I wanted to see what's going to happen. If can I actually sit for that long? And when I did, I noticed that eventually the those voices, basically like the background noise that goes on in my head, went away. And then I actually started to receive messages from source. And it sounds like you. It sounds like your thoughts. But how do you distinguish, right? That's why the meditation was helpful. Um, that's what got me to the point now where, I don't necessarily meditate all the time. I can do it. I actually enjoy it when I do it. But there's many different ways you can meditate. But what I'm saying is once the ticker tape, the background noise, which is basically your fears and your doubts, once that goes away, then you start to receive the messages from source. All of a sudden you get these ideas in your head, and just let them run. That's when you want to let the ticker tape run. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. And you start to get excited. That is when you know that you are receiving from source. So then eventually you will get to the point where you probably don't even need to meditate anymore, or it's more that you get the messages just randomly, just at points basically where you could be out and about and you can quiet that voice, and hear the messages come through quicker and clearer. So like maybe you're in your car waiting to pick up your kids, right? And while you're sitting in the car, you know, you can suspend, all the noise that's going on in the 3D reality and start listening. You'll start hearing messages come through, especially if you have the mindset of maybe you're wondering, what do I do next? You know, or, in terms of your journey, like if you have your desired reality, your goals, what can I do next? It's like a conversation with source, which is basically within you. You can call it source, God, the universe. All of it is within. You're basically having a conversation with yourself because it's all within. And once you start hearing that voice from within, it starts giving you suggestions, things to do, things that you start to get excited about. That's how you know that this is, the next step, or coming from source. It's like a message from source is when you get excited about it, or like right now I'm getting chills, or, like the hair follicles on my head are tightening, um, or it just resonates. It just all of a sudden you get this thought and it just feels so right, and it gets you basically kind of makes you feel like you're being propelled to take action. That's how you know. So cut to this this morning I was on my morning bathroom duty, and and I just started getting this download from spirit. um ideas for basically things to share with you in terms of this live video about manifestation. And I just started writing them down, noting them down, and it just was coming and flowing, and I was in the flow. So this is how you people get in the flow, is by once you can hear source and let go of any kind of resistance that you have. That's when you get in the flow, and where source is speaking to you, you're hearing it. Source is speaking to you all the time, but when you can hear it, the more you hear it, and the more you act on it, the more you trust it, and that the more you get in the flow. That's how some people just live their lives naturally that way. We probably all know at least one person who, you look at them in their life and you go, how is it that everything is always working out for them? They're in the flow. How do I get in the flow? This is how you get in the flow. You got to quiet the negative, toxic voices so that you can turn up the messages from source. And I couldn't wait to get on this call. To get on this live with you guys. So when the pandemic came around, I just got this message from source to start doing videos, YouTube videos. And at the time, I'm an author, a writer, and I thought, well, I'll just, it was funny because I had been thinking, oh, I would love to do an audio book version, but I couldn't afford to hire someone at the time. And so I thought, I'll just read my book on YouTube. Like, it's free. What better way to get my product out there by giving it for free here on YouTube? And I thought, oh, I'll just read it to people, and people are sitting at home, why don't I just read a book to them? And it was quite fun. The videos were kind of grainy, and you can check it out if you look on my channel and go back and watch those embarrassing videos of me trying to read my book on live, or not live, but read them on YouTube. And then I had been getting into manifestation videos, and I was like, this is fantastic. And I love talking to, did have a set of friends, just a couple friends that I could really get into these talks about manifestation with. And I just thought, I'm going to talk about manifestation, what I've learned up until this point. I mean, that was back then. And so I did do a slew of videos just talking about, you know, everything about manifestation and what I've learned from it. And then, the pandemic ended, and I had to kind of switch gears because I knew I didn't want to go back to massaging. That's what I used to do. And so, funny enough, other manifestations kind of came through. Like, my environment uh, started to reflect my manifestations in a way that was sort of unexpected. And I moved back home and have been taking care of, or helping out my mom, I should say, as she's getting older. And what I realized is that it's bringing me a step closer to what my ultimate manifestation is, which I will not discuss because, you know, that's going to be another video about how not to talk about your manifestations, not to tell your manifestations or what your goals are to other people. So I'm going to talk about that in another video. But for now, I'm going to end it. I just want to say, if you want to discuss your current manifestations, your current goals, if you're frustrated and having issues getting it, or maybe you just haven't seen the evidence of your manifestations yet, keep watching my channel. First, you'd have to subscribe, set the bell notifications, and then you can start to see when I go live, and you can become a part of this discussion. I started this live element of my channel because I want us to have a conversation. Honestly, I always wanted to this to be a conversation between you and me so we can help each other. You know, you have ideas, I'm sure that have worked for you, or maybe you're frustrated and you need some more support. And I have always found that talking to my friends, the friends that I can talk to about this stuff, because this topic, this subject is not for everybody, which is why you should keep your goals and your manifestations really to yourself. Only talk to people that you know are on that same wavelength. But even then, but anyway, that's for another video. But if you want a sense of community, you want someone that you can be able to talk to about it, and we can work through what you're working on. And I'll tell you about what I'm working on in terms of, like, if I'm having difficulties or why things are happening the way they are, we can discuss it. And you getting to your desired reality, it's all going to fuel you, educate you to get to that point where where you're actually seeing your desired reality reflected on in the real world in real time.